So we've been exploring some different Battletech Tactica, and now we're going to jump back to the narrative for a moment and look at the definition of a lance. Because those of you who are new to Battletech, as you're getting up to speed, you're learning the rules, you're exploring different mechs, and as you start to jump into the technical manuals and really look through there and explore some of these machines, look at some of these tactics, and figure out, hey, what do I want to play on the tabletop? What do I want to do? Understanding the lance and what it represents in the game is vital, because this is the building block, this is the force behind everything in Battletech. Tactically speaking, from the narrative, a lance consists of 4 mechs. And generally speaking, of course, there's always a little bit of modification based on the house, or if it's a mercenary company, or based on the campaign. But essentially it consists of a light mech, a medium mech, a heavy mech, and then maybe a slightly heavier mech, an assault mech, or a secondary medium mech. The idea is 4 diverse mechs, each with defined roles, yet at the same time being able to support themselves tactically on the tabletop. This is kind of the basic core fighting unit of the game. Now in the narrative, a lance also includes some technicians, some resupply aspects of it, and some logistics, command, and control. Essentially, it's the smallest operative for a Battletech unit. Now, we also have, as you work through the technical manuals, you'll see stuff like a scout lance or a command lance. This is that 4-mech structure taken to an extreme. So you might see a locust, a wasp, a stinger, and a jenner working together in a scout lance. So the idea is these four mechs are going to complement each other, but 100% they're defined with scouting rather than engaging the enemy, engaging the opponent, where the standard lance is kind of a jack of all trades, master of none. It's able to engage, it's able to take on every single role, maybe not completely dedicated or completely extreme, but there's a lot of tactical diversity in there. When we see something like a command lance, usually this is centered on one mech that's command and control on the tabletop. A great example is the Cyclops, one of my favorite mechs. This is an assault class mech, and the warfare, electronics, and command and control in the narrative makes this mech extremely valuable. So a command lance, what you'll see is literally often the commander on the tabletop with 3 other at least heavy mechs, preferably assault mechs, almost like a bodyguard type unit on there. You might see a fire lance. You might see a recon lance. Different ways of building. So as you move through the technical manuals, as you figure out how to grow your collection, think in the lance, because for most of us that play Battletech, that's the core unit in how we're going to build it. That doesn't mean, of course, those are just suggestions in the rules. You could play 1 or 2 mechs versus 1 or 2 mechs, right? A lance is destroyed, or you got separated for a moment, or maybe the rest of your lance, the other 2 mechs are on the other side of the hill and you're fighting here. But when we build a game, or when we think about our tactics in terms of battle value, most Battletech players work off of the lance on there. How many lances do you want to bring? Do you want to play some support vehicles in there? What type of battle value? So if I'm playing, battle value is the in-game currency where each mech and machine and equipment costs a set number of battle value points. So we agree ahead of time how many points you want to play. You want to do 5,000 battle value? You select your toys, I select my toys. The idea is we about equal up to 5,000, so it is somewhat balanced on there. I could decide, you know what? I'm going to do a command lance, and I'm going to do a recon lance, and then I'm going to do just 2 regular lances on there. Or you could build it out recon. You could build it out regular. An assault lance would be 4 really, really heavy-hitting assault mechs. Often the spearhead of that we'll see with atlases and stalkers. So you could have 3 stalkers and an atlas. That's a pretty potent, that's a pretty crazy assault lance that's going to crack most things on the table. That would be the tactic to push it out. So the idea in building a lance is it is focused on a specific thing to execute with the smallest amount of mechs, yet at the same time that one specific thing might be just having the diversity of tactics to take on and be nimble, be aggressive, be hostile towards the specific role on the table.